Your cat's been trying to tell you something, actually more than one thing. And chances are you've been missing the message. Not because you're a bad cat parent, but because the way cats communicate is nothing like what we're used to. They don't send signals the way dogs do. And most of their messages are hidden in plain sight. They won't meow for everything. In fact, meowing is just a small part of the story. The real messages come through subtle habits, repeated patterns, small movements that often go unnoticed. Unless you know what to look for today, I'll show you 5 specific behaviors your cat might be doing regularly, each one loaded with meaning. Some of these signals are emotional, some are deeply instinctual, and some, well, they may surprise you. And if you've ever wondered what your cat truly feels about you, this might be the moment it finally becomes clear. Let's begin with the quiet truth about how cats actually communicate. Most cat owners believe communication is about meowing, purring, or maybe tail flicks. But that's just the surface. Cats actually rely on a much more refined and silent language, one built on routine, presence, and observation. They're creatures of subtlety, not drama, and that's why so many messages go unnoticed. The truth is, cats are constantly watching, adjusting, and reacting to your behavior. When they choose to act, even in the smallest ways, it usually means something. These actions aren't random, they're their way of connecting. And once you start recognizing the patterns, you'll realize they've been speaking to you all along. Now, most people miss these cues, not because they don't care, but because they've never been taught to look for them. But you're here now, and that means you're about to see your cat in a whole new way. Let's start with the first and most emotionally powerful signal. The first behavior your cat might be using to send you a quiet but powerful message is resting part of their body against you while they sleep. It might be something small, a paw touching your leg, their back against your side, even just the tip of the tail making contact. Most people barely notice it, but for a cat, this gesture speaks volumes. When they choose to stay in contact while they sleep, it means they feel completely secure around you. More than that, it's their way of keeping a physical connection with someone they trust deeply. In the wild, cats only sleep near those they trust with their lives. Touching while sleeping is a rare display of emotional bonding. So when your cat presses close to you, it's not just about warmth or comfort. It's their way of saying, "You're my safe place." This small, quiet act often goes unnoticed, but once you're aware of it, it can change the way you see those peaceful nap moments forever. And while this signal is subtle and sweet, the next one is surprisingly bold and might seem like your cat is turning their back on you, but the real meaning is very different. The next behavior your cat might be using to send a silent but meaningful message is sitting close to you, with their back turned. At first glance, this might seem cold, maybe even disrespectful, like your cat doesn't want to engage. But the truth is, this is one of the most misunderstood signs of trust in feline behavior. In the wild, a cat never turns its back to something it doesn't trust. That would leave them vulnerable to attack. So, when your cat settles near you and calmly faces away, what they're really saying is, "I trust you enough to let my guard down." It's a quiet form of loyalty, not about affection in the way we expect it, but about safety and confidence in your presence. They're choosing to rest in a position where you're behind them, and that speaks louder than a dozen purrs. You might notice this happen when you're working at a desk, watching TV, or even reading on the couch. Your cat comes near, turns away, and just stays there. It's not distance, it's actually closeness, expressed in a uniquely feline way. The next behavior your cat might be using to connect with you emotionally is gently placing their paw on you. Without claws, just soft contact. This is one of the most personal gestures a cat can offer. It's not about dominance or play, it's a quiet reach out. A simple touch that often happens when you least expect it. Maybe you're lying down, lost in thought, or sitting quietly, and suddenly you feel that gentle tap. What your cat is doing in that moment is checking in. It might be their way of saying, "I'm here," or even, "Are you okay?" Many older cats do this with their humans, especially those they've known for years. They don't make noise. They don't demand. They just touch, softly, like they're trying to offer presence without interruption. And if you're going through something emotionally, or even physically, this small gesture can become even more meaningful, because they sense it. And that touch, It becomes their way of sharing space with you, without asking for anything in return. Now the next behavior is even more surprising, and often gets brushed off as random or strange. But when a cat starts bringing you objects, especially while you're not paying attention, there's a deeper message behind it. The final behavior your cat might be using to communicate, and this one touches deeper than most people realize, is quietly following you from room to room, just watching without making a sound. There's no meowing, no asking for food, no obvious demand for attention, just presence. At first, it might seem like a passive habit, but this kind of behavior carries a powerful emotional message. Your cat is saying, "I'm with you," without needing to say anything at all. In the feline world, following at a distance is a sign of connection, not neediness. It shows they feel bonded to you, enough to stay close without requiring constant interaction. And it becomes even more meaningful when it happens during quieter moments. When you're sick, feeling low, or going through stress. They're not there for entertainment or out of boredom. They're there because you're part of their emotional world, and by simply being near, they're making sure you're okay. What makes this even more special is the silence. Cats don't follow people they don't trust, and they certainly don't hover unless they feel a deep sense of attachment. So the next time you feel those quiet paws behind you, or catch them sitting nearby without a sound, know that it's not random. It's a quiet kind of love. The kind that doesn't need noise to be felt. Cats don't leave notes on the fridge. They don't send messages through words or gestures we've been taught to recognize. But now, you know better. Each quiet act, each gentle movement, each choice they make around you, it all carries meaning. And by learning to notice these small signals, you're not just understanding your cat more, you're deepening a relationship that, for them, means everything. And if you thought these silent behaviors were powerful, wait until you discover the 3 simple words that can instantly calm a cat's nervous system. Backed by science and used by professionals who work with cats in high-stress environments, this approach is changing how we speak to our feline companions and how they respond. It's a method most cat owners have never heard of, and once you try it, the results might surprise you. Click the video that just appeared on your screen and find out exactly what to say. Your cat will thank you in ways you never expected. I'll see you there.